Welcome to What's Cooking with the Cookware and Bakeware Alliance. The CBA supplies the industry with standards, connections, and solutions. This podcast features stories from our members and partners. Our goal is to share resources and information across the industry for consumers, retailers, manufacturers, and more. To learn more about becoming a member of the CBA, visit cookwareandbakeware.org.
Welcome to another episode of What's Cooking with the CBA. Our podcast series, What's Cooking with the CBA, has a special feature this year called Stronger Together. This special series celebrates our members, their contributions to the industry, the community, and as always, being dedicated to creating safe consumer products. Our members are the industry leaders, and I'm so happy to be joined today by Kris Malkoski, the CEO of Home Solutions and Writing at Newell Brands. Welcome, Kris.
Hi there. How are you, Fran? Good to see you.
Good. I'm so excited to have you here today because this is such a great company to talk about. Newell Brands, and I won't give it away yet, but one of the biggest brands you have has been with us for a very long time. It's been a member a very long time. And we were offline, we were just talking about some of our listeners starting out may not know exactly who Newell Brands is, but when you hear the brands, you're guaranteed to have them in your home. And I won't give it away on how many people have in their home, but you want to tell us a little bit more about Newell and all the brands you carry?
Sure. So Newell is a $10 billion global company. We are found in over 80% of U.S. households. The average person has 17 of our brands in their house. So let me tell you some of the names, and maybe you'll understand why they have 17. We have Dymo and Elmer's and Expo Dry Erase, Crazy Glue, Papermate, Sharpie, Parker and Waterman fine writing pens. We have Ball and Calphalon, Food Saver, Rubbermaid, Yankee Candle, Woodwick. We have our Rubbermaid commercials. So if you see the big trash cans and the cleaning supplies that people have, that's our product. We have Graco and Nook pacifiers and Baby Jogger, Bubba Aerobed, Contigo, Coleman, Ex Officio, men's underwear, Marmot, jackets. So we have, and then we have Crockpot, Mr. Coffee, Oster, and Sunbeam. So how many brands are in your house, Fran?
I was going to say I break your 17. I was laughing right before we started because my desk is covered in Sharpie pens. And the names you listed, these are storied brands. These are brands that have been around a long time and been an incredible part of the market. Before we jump to your products, we were also talking about some interesting research that you've come across, and it's really important where we're headed in the times that we're in. So do you want to talk about this? It was research on the impact of inflationary pressures in today's market. And
anyone who manufactures cookware or bakeware saw an incredible increase in usage when COVID hit because you weren't going out to restaurants, you were doing more cooking at home. And we were wondering, where is in-home cooking and baking going as we go now into very strong inflationary headwinds and maybe going into recession? And we're comping last year, 2021, where the in-home cooking was at a height that hasn't been seen in over 50 years. And what was amazing is when we asked, and this question was asked on September 21st, so this is really recent data, people said versus a year ago, they are cooking meals at home 43% more than they did a year ago. And they are also baking 28% more than a year ago. So then we asked them, well, for the balance of the year and going into the future, are you going to keep up at this level? And they are. 28% say they're going to use their cookware more, and 25% say they're going to use their bakeware more. So really incredible learning in terms of the importance of the brands that the Cookware and Bakeware Association supports for their use in the home. The research also showed that 35% of people are going to eat out less than they did a year ago. And the restaurant business was constrained a year ago. So conserving our money, trying to eat healthy, trying to extend that food budget is really important and something that we need to be aware of and be supportive of with all of our cookware and bakeware manufacturers.
That's incredible to hear this. Everyone, you're right. After COVID, we thought, is it going to continue? What's going to happen? Through COVID, I think the kitchen became the heart of the home. The home became important, but the kitchen became so critical. That's incredible data to not only see who's cooking more, but that they intend to. The intention part is incredible.
Yeah.
It's interesting that there's both an increase in intention to both cook and bake more, because two of the products we're here to talk about today cover cookware and bakeware. And I would love to start with the bakeware product. It is one of the most innovative bakeware products I've ever seen. Personally, I've been in product 30 years. I would love for you to tell us more about DuraLite from Rubbermaid.
Yes. So, it started probably about 15 years ago. I got into the housewares business. And one of the things that I saw was people do love to bake. They really prefer the experience of cooking in glass bakeware or ceramic bakeware, but there are limitations to that. You can only put it in the oven to 450 degrees. Depending on the brand, it can be really heavy. And so if you're stacking several together, it's quite an impact to lift it. And not all of the glass bakeware, ceramic bakeware is elegant and beautiful, because the ceramic will chip. The glass, you can see like if there's brown marks in the baking that you've done. And the alternative metal bakeware, which you can put up to broiling, is not something you feel proud to serve at the table. And like you and I were talking before we got on air, when you cut brownies in a metal pan, you leave behind scratch marks. So I really wanted to create a line of bakeware that was lightweight, that was elegant to serve at the table, and that you could broil with it being glass in the oven. And we created a new technology called fluorosilicate glass. It has a proprietary way of being made, which is its secret sauce. And this product is oven and broiler safe up to 550 degrees Fahrenheit. It's very lightweight compared to ceramic. It doesn't break or chip. It's nestable, stackable. You can put it in the microwave, the dishwasher, the freezer. There's no BPA, and it comes with a lid. So if you want to transport a tray of brownies, which I know you do, Fran, to your friends' houses, you can put the lid on it and it transports very effectively. And I'm so excited. It's called Rubbermaid DuraLite Bakeware. And it launched, literally, it hit the shelves in Target last week. Television advertising started on the Food Network. It's going to be used in the great baking cook-off that happens on HGTV and the Food Network. I'm really excited to see what the potential of this product is.
I'm going to give it one shout out also. The way the lids are designed, it makes it easy to stack and store. Yes. There's so many pieces that are kind of bulky. And it really is elegant. You want it out. You don't want it in the cupboard.
You're proud to own it.
Proud to own it. I also want to talk a little bit about the quality. And I'm not sure how many people appreciate the challenges of putting a product under the broiler. That is an intense environment, and to be able to pass that is incredible. The reason I bring up the performance is that I'm really proud to say that Newell Brands is the first to get the Standards of Excellence seal. You were the first to apply for DuraLite. And for those who don't know, our engineering standards set the minimum to create safe cookware and bakeware. And let's just say you guys went above and beyond. So do you want to talk a little bit more about what went into maybe the testing or this new? I won't want you to give your secret sauce.
No, I won't. But we really wanted to make sure it was safe, because ceramic and glass will break if it goes above about 425, 450 degrees. We wanted to make sure it didn't warp. So we went through probably 6 months of extensive product testing, and the testing pushed the extremes. So we started out with food in the container, just as you would normally use it. But then we also put it without any food in the container, which means the heat transfers even more deeply into it. We did, 500 cycle of dishwasher testing. It still looks like new after 500 cycles. Put it through salt baths, things to see would it ever denigrate or break down the product. There's impact chip testing you do on the rims, you do on the center of the vessel. You increase the intensity of the ball bearing that hits the container to make sure it doesn't have fracture potential or chip potential. So really went through some rigorous testing, and it did not fail in one single test. So like 300 times under the broiler without food, no breakage. 300 times under the broiler with food, no breakage. So I really feel confident that this product is going to deliver for the end user.
That's incredible. And I want to tell our listeners, for anyone who's listening who's not a member or a consumer, the same people that dedicated their time to those 300 tests and 6 months of research are the same people that give us their time to work on the standards and work on the engineering standards. That's what makes our members special and why we're doing these podcasts, because think about what it took to make this product, and they're still taking their time out to work with this trade association and make sure that we have the right standards to make safe products. So it's just such a testament to our members and to this product. I also know you had mentioned you have a new cookware line to talk about.
We do. So everyone knows the Calphalon brand, and Calphalon's an incredibly beloved brand by people who have had the experience of using it, or maybe being a child watching their parent use it in the kitchen. Actually, the background of Calphalon was that it was founded in 1963 as a brand sold exclusively to chefs and restaurants for extreme exposure to lots of cooking. Later in the 1970s, we began selling into homes, and it's always been seen as a high-end in the sense of quality and performance line of cookware in the category. We thought, as we were thinking about Calphalon and thinking about we have so many more foodies in the kitchen because people learned how to experiment and how to expand their cooking capabilities, that we should come out with some superior technology to really talk to our users. So for the extreme foodies who are doing a lot of cooking in their pots and pans, we created Mineral Shield nonstick technology. So it's made of some of Earth's hardest minerals and ends up being 5 times more durable than any Calphalon we've ever produced. And it has superior nonstick properties compared to the leading competition in the market that we tested against. And we tested against about 25 brands. And then for somebody who's maybe starting out and can't afford a set that might cost $149 to $199 for 10 to 12 pieces, we created the AquaShield nonstick technology, which is made with a water-based nonstick that keeps pans performing like new 40% longer than any Calphalon that we have ever made before. And that's really important because US consumers are lazy and they stick everything in the dishwasher. And so if you can keep a pan performing like new 40% longer, that's really important, because the number one degrader of the nonstick technology on cookware is washing it in a dishwasher.
And dishwashers seem to be getting more aggressive, and I'm not sure why. I'm not sure what they're trying to clean off our products. I heard something that you just said, and I want to applaud Calphalon for this. In the world we live in nowadays, so many companies, when they prove a new product, they're tearing somebody else down. What you just said is you went up against yourselves. You wanted to be better, 5 times better, more durable than other, 40% longer. What a breath of fresh air in this world. I know you tested against brands too. That's just another statement about what we do. And, I needed that today because I recently just saw a commercial about something. I'm like, why do we still do this? That's what it should all be about. And that's incredible. And you're right. That just the name Calphalon brings me back to my days at Macy's. And
yes,
I could see the Calphalon floor setting. I can see it also. That's incredible too, about the extreme exposure where it started.
Yeah. And, a lot of restaurants use flame for heat, which gets more intense than like an electrical burner. And so the hard anodized outer shell was actually created to perform at a better performance level in the restaurant setting on top of flame. So that's kind of cool. But one of my favorite things about Calphalon is when it gets to the point where you want new Calphalon, it's not going to show up in the landfill because we joined TerraCycle. And so TerraCycle, we ship the pots and pans, or the consumers can ship the pots and pans to a TerraCycle recycling center. And with that, they make park benches and playground equipment. So if your child, if you have children or your grandchildren are playing on playground equipment, there's a good chance, if that equipment was installed in the last 5 years, that it's recycled Calphalon.
That is incredible. Wow. With all the other topics circulating around cookware, that's the one that matters.
Yeah.
Especially in the US, and I was just on a call with people from other countries. We're a little behind on getting stuff out of the landfill.
Yes, we are.
And that is the real challenge for industry. Bravo. That's incredible. Oh, I got to go check if our local park. We have newer parks. That's powerful. Well, so you cover environmental. I also know you cover community.
Yes, we do.
You guys do a lot for the community.
Community is really important to Newell. And as a pan-Newell organization, not just Calphalon and Rubbermaid, but all of our brands, we do a couple of different things. Probably the three big buckets are: one, we give local grants into the communities where our people work and live. So we have offices in Chicago, Deerfield, Massachusetts, in Huntersville, North Carolina, Atlanta, Georgia, and we let the employees vote on which local charities they would like to support. They nominate first, so it's only employee-based nominations, and then we vote. And we give sizable cash grants to really help make a difference in the communities. And it goes down to even where we have manufacturing facilities like Mogadore, Ohio. So it's a very pervasive grant program that we're quite proud of. We do support 3 national organizations like Save the Children and the Nature Conservancy, and we do an annual campaign. And of all the money that the employees donate, it's matched by the corporation, so that it's double the gift that's given to these 3 global charities. And then the last thing we do, this is really important to us because we have such a diverse range of products, and we have car seats for infants and high chairs, and we have kitchen supplies, whether it's food storage or cookware. When there is a natural disaster in a community, we give them supplies so they can continue to transport their children. They can continue to feed their children safely from a high chair, or push them around in a stroller so they can get from point A to point B. They can continue to cook and store food and utilize their kitchen or the temporary housing that they're in. And this is really important because when people are faced with natural disasters, it's great to give them the short-term stuff, like they need the quick food, they need the quick water, but to give them something that they don't have to spend their money that way as they're trying to rebuild their lives and their homes, and something that will last for several years, we think is really important.
That strikes a big chord with me. So I live in New Jersey. I was part of Sandy. And like you said, it's great to have water and food, but within days you have to start thinking about, and when things like Sandy and hurricanes and tornadoes rip through, it takes everything. Sandy actually left some houses standing, but gutted it. So there was nothing left. They go into rentals and the rentals are empty. So yes, to have this, what a great gift. And it's funny, nobody really thinks about that. That's incredible that you do that, because it really is that kind of in between. It's that immediate need, and then the insurance is coming, but it's that in between.
That's in between. Yeah.
Really critical. That's just really impressive. I saved this intentionally for last because I love people just get to know you a little bit. I have the pleasure of getting to know you this year. And could you just tell everybody a little bit about your background? Because it's quite impressive. It's really incredible.
How far back do you want me to go?
As far back as you want to go.
So it was interesting. I grew up on a farm in the middle of Nebraska, and we had a little bit of everything. 50 head of dairy cattle. We grew corn, soybeans, had an apple orchard, had large gardens. One of my brands, Ball, is one of my earliest memories of a brand that I used because I was helping my mom can when I was about 5 years old. But it was an incredible way to grow up because you learned great work ethic. I was fortunate enough after graduating from college to start my career at Procter & Gamble and rose to be the fourth woman ever to become a VP GM because P&G is a promote from within culture. And prior to 7 years before my arrival, they only hired males for the management roles. So that was exciting. And I was able to participate in some incredible launches like Aleve Pain Reliever was one of my babies, and Thermacare Heat Wraps was another one of my babies. I then I started my own contract product management company, which I sold to Publicis. I've worked private equity in the snackware industry and the housewares industry at a company that had incredible brands like Pyrex, Corral, Corningware. Also worked on the Craftsman brand when Sears carved out the brands, and I was able to grow it outside of Sears with Ace Hardware, ultimately selling the brand to Stanley Black & Decker, which is a great home for another incredible brand. So continue on as, Sears continues to have tough times. And then most recently, I was CEO Americas for ARC International, not a name that you know, but ARC makes some of the highest end brands for the food service industry, like champagne glasses and wine glasses that are crystalline, as well as they do a lot of the private label glassware for retailers. So if you buy Target's brand of glass food storage, it's probably an ARC product. And then what's really cool for me is we do a lot of B2B. We did when I was at ARC, including all the vases for Yankee Candle. So I turn around and the next company I go to sells Yankee Candle. And I remember visiting them as a vendor, and now I visit them as a coworker. So it's been a great career. I have no regrets. Every single job and every single adventure taught me more, and hopefully now at the age I'm at, of course, 39 forever, but at the age I'm at, I feel like I've had some great experiences.
That's incredible. For all the women out there, just play that part over again and listen to it. You can do anything. And it really is a testament to that work ethic. Sounds like it really carried through.
It did, but in a positive way. Now, people tease me all the time because if you grew up on a dairy farm, the whole house wakes up well before 6 a.m. And I can't get that out of my system. Without an alarm, I'll wake up by 5 every morning. And so I come into work and I try to leave work at a decent hour, like, 5:30 or so. And people are always giving me grief about being the first car in the first spot in the parking lot. And I'm like, I can't help it. I grew up that way.
I totally get that for a different reason. I'm from a part of New York where you had to commute everywhere. There was no jobs in our little town. So you had to take a bus or a ferry, so you were getting up really early because you had to count for an hour and a half commute somewhere. And I can't break the habit either. And everyone thinks I'm crazy, but I get it. Just very different reasons. But it's an incredible company, incredible people, incredible brands. And just thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for telling us about Newell and these great new products. And thanks for sharing your story.
Well, thank you. I enjoyed talking with you.
This is great. And to those of you listening, make sure to check out all our other What's Cooking with the CBA podcasts. And happy cooking, everyone.
Happy cooking.
You've been listening to What's Cooking with the Cookware and Bakeware Alliance. For more resources about the cookware and bakeware industry and information about becoming a member, visit our website, cookwareandbakeware.org.